Hello everyone, I am Doodlemans86 and today I am going to share my customs for the new Godzilla and Kong, the new Empire movie. These are mainly just accessories for display and sets for the figures and not actual figures of themselves, but I plan on making some customs at some point for the actual figures, but I just wanted to share these things which I made for the surrounding environments. And now we watch it all crumble, fall apart, fall alone. Well, here we have our little graveyard. So I guess I'll just start out with what I see first, and it's these skeleton pieces. I put a skeleton to sleep, right, a plastic skeleton, and he will forever be remembered in pieces. And that's basically what this is, a bunch of pieces of bones and skeletons. Pretty bony looking, very yellow, nasty with a few brown spots. Fits the aesthetic, you know, pretty nice. Make it rain skeletons, you know, all that good stuff. I then proceeded to use some of those to make some rib cages on the ground, which I have little dirt bases made out of cardboard, as you can see at the bottom. Glued them in. Look pretty cool. I wish they were slightly bigger, but you know what, this is still fine. Here we have this piece with an extra bone to the side, very dirty, you know. That's basically what these pieces are. And I dry brushed with browns and blacks for the base. Here we have this one, really nice. I like how they're all scattered. And then this one is made of very thin bones that don't look like ribs, but you know what? I'm just gonna pretend they are because I'm not willing to sacrifice a bigger skeleton to get those bone pieces, so yeah. And then here we have a bunch of skeleton skulls, which I actually made by my own hand. I had to make them out of cardboard and scissors, which was not an easy task. It was very grueling on my hands because these are the scissors I used. And I mean, look at how thick and huge they are. I mean, I should have used smaller scissors to be fair, but you know what? It's all done. So I have different kaiju skulls here and a different number of them. So first up, I have only one Anguirus skull, because technically he is in the Monsterverse and he is a pair of bones from what we've seen. But yeah, this is him. I kind of drew I kind of made the top of the head curve to the left, you know. And yeah, I dry brushed these with browns and blacks and then went over it with a yellow to give it the bone look. And I think it fits the same color as the actual bones, which I think is really cool. So we have one Anguirus, and then as I dig through the pile, I think... oh yeah, here we go. We have 3 skull crawler heads, or actually, not skull crawlers. I'm so confused right now. I think I only have 2 warbat heads. Oh yeah, I have 3 warbat heads. I'm so sorry guys, I'm just not that smart. We have 3 warbat heads, or skulls, should I say. And something you'll notice here is that I do have 1 skull from each species that is very good. Like these 2 are decent, but this one came out really good looking. It's my favorite one. I think it came out the best. So there's the warbat. We do have skull crawlers. We have 3 again of varying sizes, you know, small, medium, and large. There's the skull crawlers. I think the small one came out the best. Looks really cool. Then we have 4 Godzilla skulls. Here's the one that came out the best, which is the small one, and I dropped it. But here's the Godzilla skull. I think this one came out the best because it actually has eye sockets and it's in the shape of his head. It's also about the same size as the NECA, Monster Arts, and Haya Godzilla heads. It's the same size, which is really cool. And the Haya Godzilla can hold it, although I don't have him with me right now. But he can hold it. Maybe I'll show it off in a future picture. But here we have the next Godzilla skull. It's alright. And then we have this one, which is pretty good. And then we have this really big one, which is nice. I mean, if this Godzilla was in the Monsterverse, he'd be bigger than our current one. And then we have 10 monkey skulls, which are Kong skulls. I made 10 of them because that's the one we see the most in the trailer and probably the one we're going to see the most of in the movie. And the best one is this one right here. This one came out the best. Really cool. Really big head too. So yeah, there's the monkey heads. And then we have this big Titan's head, which is the monster or the skeleton from GVK, the one Kong pulls the axe from. A very big monster, and I made him right here. I don't know why I didn't make this sooner, but you know what? Since I was making skulls, I decided to make this guy. So here he is in all his glory. And you can fit the battle axe in there, but you can only fit the monster arts one. If I tried putting in the Playmates one, I'd have to make the hole thicker. And it fits this guy pretty well, so yep. There's that guy. These are all battle axes, which I used, which you can buy from certain Kong figures, the Playmates and the Monster Arts. And then I made these Godzilla dorsal plates, spine skeletons. Very cool. I thought it'd be nice having it in the little graveyard, you know? I think it fits very well, and I like how it came out. These are original designed spines, by the way, and as you can tell, they are inspired by the Showa era, my favorite era. But yeah, there's the spines, and there's all the bones from the graveyard. So I'm only gonna show one mountain and one rock, or I'm not that good at describing stuff, guys. I'm not that smart. But yeah, I'm gonna show one off of each, because if I were here to show off all of them, it wouldn't make sense, because you know they're all the same thing, different shapes and sizes. That's about it. But here we have like a brown mountain terrain, you know. Did it with a dark brown, dry brush with a light brown, and then put a black on top to give it that dirty look. All made out of cardboard, glued together. You can see the inside. And if you miss paint, it's not going to matter because it's cardboard, so it's already naturally brown, which is the best part about cardboard. And you can shape it, and the texture just already looks like rock, so it's literally the perfect material to make stuff like this. I'm considering making a tutorial if I have the time, so look out for that. And then we have the mountain rocks, which are the same process but different paint, as you can see. Dark gray, light gray on top, no black. And I made these a lot more sharper and longer than the rocks. Or okay, you know what? Just forget what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying. I am bad at labeling stuff. Okay, so yeah, these are a lot sharper, longer, more jagged, and yeah, that's it. And then we actually have a, if I can grab it here, we have like a little mountain base here. Same process, had to glue it differently though. There's the bottom, and you can put monsters on top, and you know, can have Godzilla roar at the top, you know. It's mainly for Kong though, but you can put Godzilla there too. So I think that's pretty cool. And then next up, I'm going to show you all the best part, in my opinion, the throne. So, would you look at that? Same process as the mountains, except I used a reddish, more reddish brown. And yes, it's an Amazon box. And yeah, that was the process basically. As you can see, I did use tape to hold it for the moment, but I only used it to hold it while the glue dried. So mainly use glue. Tape's not going to work, especially if you're trying to paint over it. It's going to scratch easy. So I recommend that for stuff like this, you tape the base, but not over what you're actually going to paint or color, because that is not a good idea unless you're coloring on paper. But paint just looks more natural. So, you know, there's that. So I made it a little uneven because, you know, these are rocks. They're not perfect. I think that fits very well. And from what you have seen in the photo shoots I have done, this fits Kong perfectly. You know, Kong can sit on it, but he obviously isn't comfortable in it because this throne isn't for Kong. This is for the new villain, the Scar King. His limbs are a lot longer, so he's going to fit in the chair much better. That's why I made it so big, and that's why Kong doesn't fit in it perfectly. I'm not sure if the Playmates Kong could sit a natural pose in this, but for sure Monster Arts and Haya, if they ever make a Scar King, which they probably will, they for sure would sit much more comfortable, just like Kong right here. And I can't wait to add him to my collection so I can sit him in his newly acquired throne. So yeah, I think this just came out really cool. I'm really proud of it, really happy. It works with all my monkeys, which is really nice. Last up, I got some crystal shards, which I made from the plastics you find in most like bread and, you know, like bread cases, candy cases, you know, stuff like that. I got these ones in specific from, I think they're called Madeleines, you know, those weird like little shaped brown seashell things, bread, sugar, whatever it's called, you know, that thing. And I basically cut crystals out of it. and that's that. The texture is very nice, so it's already there and done for me. So I think it's pretty sweet that it's there. And yeah, just that's that. And that about wraps everything up. So I will now proceed to see you at the photo session I took. And sorry that there is no music. I don't want to get copyrighted, and the YouTube library is kind of doesn't really have that much music that I feel would fit photo shoots. So yeah, hope you like the photos though.